popping up. Hi. Oh, you guys, I got my paddleboard. I'm so excited. So excited. 3-point lighting setup for your videos, for your live streams, for your Zoom presentations. We're going to show you what a 3-point lighting setup looks like and talk through your questions and talk through some things that you need to think about when it comes to lighting. Now, when we think about lighting, it is lighting week around here, so there's a whole playlist full of awesome information, budget setups with no light, 1 light and 2 lights. And then today we're talking about 3 lights, and there's lots more in that playlist. So definitely check that out. But when we're talking about 3 lighting setup, that is a traditional kind of normal way of lighting. And so what we're thinking about when it comes to 3-point lighting is allowing yourself a couple of lights from the front and also one from the back, usually called a hair light, a separator light. That way you're separating yourself from the background, especially needed if you're close to the wall. I've got some space back here in my set, but if you're up close against the wall, you definitely want some separation. Otherwise, you're going to blend into that background and it's just going to appear a lot flatter. So what we can do with light is really create a situation where you pop, right? And so that is what we're going to do today. And I'm going to do a little demo for you. But if you're new around here, please do type new in the comments. I would love, love, love to meet you. And if you are new, then you don't know me. Hi, I'm Luria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros, where I help you create professional video that is uniquely you. And I am thrilled that you are here, and ask your questions by typing a Q in front of those, and we'll do live Q&A at the end. But let's look at what a 3-point lighting setup looks like. This is my 3-point lighting setup. And just keep in mind that you actually can do this with any number of types of lights, right? So you have, I don't know why I'm looking at this camera. I should be looking over here. But you can do this with soft boxes, all soft boxes like this one. You could do them with all panel lights like this one over here. You could do them with ring lights as well. So you have the ability to choose your 3-point lighting setup based on your budget and based on your needs. Now, definitely watch the playlist that we have linked to in the description, because that is going to give you the information you need in terms of understanding what you want to choose for your personal preferences. Lighting is a very personal choice. And we talk about in the playlist as well, creating an environment that matches your personality. So keep that in mind as well. Lionel is new. Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So let's do a little demo, and then I'm also going to talk through some things as well. So let's go ahead and turn off all the background lights so that, and we've got Callie, our Vanna today. She's going to turn off all the background lights, and that way you can see what the lighting is that's on me right now, which is that 3-point lighting setup, right? And also, can you flip that middle switch over there, because that's filling in some light over here. And so happy to get to this today. Hopefully you'll learn a thing or two. All right, so now we have no background lights other than the natural light coming in from my window. So this is the 3-point lighting setup that you see right here. Now let's go ahead and turn off all the lights, and that way we can make sure that we start from scratch. So that's getting flipped off. Then we're going to flip off, oh, and I'm going to flip off this other one over here. I know, I made a step stool for you. All right, so now we have no lights other than natural light coming in. Don't go away yet. And so now let's go ahead and turn on the single light, this dome light. And so that's a single light, right? So now we can see that this is not being like, we have some kind of drastic shadows here. Now, keep in mind that when it comes to lighting, you know, when you're looking at lighting coming in directly in front, that is actually going to be a softer light for you. And if you want to do something like coming in from the sides, that's going to allow you to kind of have more sharper kind of edges, and really allow you to kind of sculpt the lighting to you. Yeah, it was dramatic without lights. Now my lighting, as you can see in this setup, is really kind of in front, but not directly in front. It's off to the side, but not as off to the side as you would typically do in a 3-point lighting setup. So mine's kind of a little in between, and I want to use this opportunity to give you permission to do whatever it is that works for you. And sometimes that requires a little creativity. Okay, so now we have that single light coming in, right? So you want to choose whether that single light is coming in from the front to create that softer effect, or coming in from the side to create a more sculpted look. Actually, leave that one on. Let's go ahead and add this one that is from the side here. So this panel light is coming on, and now you can see it actually filled in that side light, right? And so now I have a full kind of effect. But you can see that the background, obviously all the lights are off there. Now what I'm going to do is actually turn on what is called my hair light. It's directly above me. You could also put it off to the side, coming in and separating one side of you. But the point of a hair light or a separator light is to separate you from the background and give you a little bit of glow, right? So now I'm going to turn that light on, and you can see what that did, right? So look at that. So we've got darkness up here and lightness now. So that is definitely, you know, helping kind of separate my shoulders. You can see the shoulder, and then voila, we've got some light there. So it really helps add that effect. Now, I do want to point out, Edward is absolutely correct. Glasses impact your choices, but the thing that you want to keep in mind, and we talk about this in that playlist that I keep mentioning, because I think it's very, very important. If you really want to understand lighting, I want you to watch that entire playlist. But glasses, you know, you want to move your lights up, right? And in fact, I would suggest that everybody kind of moves their lights up anyway, because it's going to create a bit of a softer effect. It'll lessen the amount of light ring or light shine in your eyeballs, unless you want that specific look. So all my lights, as you can see, are up and kind of pointing down. So if you have a ring light that's going kind of through, or your camera is going through it, you can actually move that up, pointing down as well, and that will allow you to wear glasses and not get that reflection. But it also allows you a little bit more flexibility with your light, even if you don't wear glasses. Okay, so now we've got the 3 lights, and tomorrow in the playlist, we'll be actually talking about the background lighting and things like that. So we're not going to tackle that for today, but the links are in the description to the lights that I have in this setup. But again, you can do this with whatever type of light that you actually want to use based on your personal preferences. Here's another great question from Lesson Hacker. Very specific: as a bald person, what are some good techniques to avoid hot spots from placement of lights? So if you are bald, which I see a few of you actually saying this, then the hair light is definitely going to be better off moved off to the side and kind of moving in your direction from that angle. That way you don't get that direct shine. You can still get a shine from the side if you do that, but you can dim it. You can play around with the placement so that it's still separating you, but it's not hitting you directly. So just play with that so that maybe it's kind of more off on the back and not hitting your head directly. You can also get some powder. There is powder specifically for that, and that will help you as well if you choose you want to do that. Paul says, if you're bald, we also sell caps in our store. So you can head on over to livestreamingpros.com/store and get a cap to cover up that. All right. So I hope that this is helpful in terms of understanding what a 3-point lighting setup can do and how you can think about it coming in from the sides versus the front angle and what you can do with a separator light. Again, you have that choice of right directly in front of you or off to the side. And I will say this is very, very important for you to realize. Lighting is a very personal choice. There's not one way that everybody should deal with it. And so what I would like you to do is watch the playlist first. Second, I want you to get together with a buddy and set up your lights and do a basic setup, right? This as Ron Clifford calls it, the hallelujah. So this would be the high five. If your lighting is like directly above you and in front of you, that would be the hallelujah. And then, if you have that 3-point lighting, you can play around with that. So when you have a buddy, you can sit here and look at your camera or your software that you're going to be using, and you can have somebody kind of adjust things like, hey, maybe move that over here. And then you can kind of watch that in real time and experience what the differences are as you move things. Move things in, move things out, move things closer, move things further back. So that is part of the process of getting lighting right, is the willingness to experiment and play with lighting. You look at your software, your camera, and you say, does this create the environment that I want? Does this look like I like it to look? Don't let anybody tell you there's only one way to do lighting. This is a personal choice, so you get personal with it. You can still do the experimentation if you're alone and you don't have a buddy to help you out. It just requires kind of moving, coming back, and that's totally okay as well. If you want to learn more about lighting, that playlist I keep mentioning, I think it's super important. Hit this playlist right here to dive in, learn more, and dig deeper. And I will see you on the next video.